I believe it was Anthony Hopkins who once said, "What one man can do, another man can do. I'm gonna kill the fucking bear."
Can anyone beat Mat Fraser?
I'll tell you what, no.
I do not think so. Like, he has proven to be so consistent across almost everything that we do in the sport, so I think it's his to lose this year.
And it is obvious he is the dominant force in the sport right now. In fact, the last 2 years of the CrossFit Games, if you remember, he has had the title wrapped up before the final event even started. And the scary thing is that he seems to be getting better.
Matt definitely can be beaten. No one can't be, but he's good. He doesn't leave points on the table.
Yes, someone can beat Mat Fraser. I don't know who it will be or if it will be this year, but he is human like the rest of us.
Yeah, I think he's beatable. Someone will beat him eventually. Well, I think the person that's going to beat Mat Fraser is the one who's not going to be thinking about him. And I think it could be me.
How do you beat Mat Fraser?
Go back to the drawing board, work really, really freaking hard.
No mistakes and a perfect weekend.
You have to make the same kind of sacrifices that he does.
You need to do a lot of things right in order to beat Mat Fraser.
I mean, you have to be perfect. 0 flaws, 0 weaknesses. You have to be perfect, period. That's the only way.
You say, well, one man can do, another man can do. How do you beat Rich Froning? Well, you wait till he retires and then you win the CrossFit Games.
If I were programming for me to lose, I'm not going to tell you that. I'm not going to share that to the world. What, are you texting Dave right now? Day starts with Sammy has breakfast ready, I have a cup of coffee, take a little time for myself just to relax, you know, let the body loosen up a little bit.
Damn, dude.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
Amazing, as usual.
But do you cook all his meals?
I do. Yeah. He eats a lot. It's fun. I like to cook, so it gives me an excuse to try new things.
Yeah.
You can check out my entire diet at Feeding the Frasers.
I have to move everything. You gotta have good light. You can't step out. This is the rug. This is the stool. So I stand there.
She thought of the clever name Feeding the Frasers. Yeah, it kind of took off. So, I mean, anytime there's something delicious I see on Instagram, I'll either like screenshot it and send it to her. Sammy, what was it called? I showed you from Bill's page.
Oh, the
Jambalaya. Paella. And then we had it that night. It was amazing.
red beans and rice. Steam fucks up my lens.
There was like 2 or 3 pieces of CrossFit equipment that I wanted in Vermont, and then Sammy packed her stool for Feeding the Fraser posts.
Poor Matt. If I'm making something new and I need to photograph it, he's like sitting there salivating. I'm like, all right, just hold on one second. I just need to get the picture. So he's sitting there getting the picture, and then I finally give it to him. So, I mean, it's literally like his plate, then put in front of him.
Like the fantasy relationship that like you see in like sitcoms, and basically what you aspire to have your relationship like, and then that's what I have. She's awesome. Like, the best. Yeah, so like I have a track workout that is planned from Chris Henshaw. I have my strength programming that's like specific days of the week that I do. But then like just generic couplets, triplets, I just pull them from wherever. But yeah, so we'll go to the gym, be there for a couple hours, then we'll probably go to the track this evening, and then I'll squat tonight. Yeah, just got to know one of the guys in Cookville that runs the Ford dealership, and so he was like, yeah, I think it's a pretty good promotion. So they gave me a truck and decaled it all out.
Do you usually roll around with 3 guns in the back?
There's 4 there.
Oh.
The original plan was to do Tennessee for 6 months, have our residency there, like we have a home there, and then just do summers up here. Packed up the truck, Sammy drove, I flew, and so we're just here for the summer. 20 guns ago, I was like, okay, like my collection's good, I'm content. And then you see something else, and it's just like, another one. So now at this point, I'm like, okay, I'm sure that I'll never be content or done collecting, you know?
Oh, pure happiness.
Yes, you know, when I first got in the sport, I got into competing to make some pocket money. That was the only interest when I first started. I was a full-time college student. I didn't want to try holding down a regular job with a schedule. So I hit a couple competitions and, you know, it's $500 here, $1,000 there. For a college student with no income, it adds up. But it was never meant to be a full-time job. I always planned on still going to work as an engineer at some point. I just figured I'll have a nice little nest egg started. I was working a desk job. I just remember just sitting in a cubicle all day and just hating it. I think that was the summer going into the 14 games. During that summer that I was like, I don't want this for my life. I was like, all right, I'm gonna make a run at this CrossFit thing, and just like pushed all the chips in the middle of the table. You know, like 3 years ago, there was something like detrimental that like I placed in the bottom 5%. And I think each year, those peaks and valleys have gotten a little bit closer, so I have to hammer those.
So you know the video of Spieler in the tennis stadium pushing the sled?
Chris Spieler is now marching on to his final dog sled push.
And he has his shoulders on the uprights and then like his head on the weights and he's pushing it. So I had that dream that I was doing that and I kept pushing and couldn't push the sled. I wake up, my head is on the headboard. I'm like bear crawling into the headboard. All the blankets and sheets are pushed off the bed for me clawing at it. I woke up with like a headache. I'm like, what is happening? I was like, oh my God, I was doing that for real. Yep.
Is it true that you like almost?
Is it true that
I've just heard that you get
rumors.
super nervous before workouts at the games and
puke
before every workout.
Usually.
Where do you go?
You've
to
never
puke?
seen me do that?
No.
Oh man, it's not pretty.
And that's a nerves thing. That's not just like.
Oh, it like.
So, you know, like they corral us 10, 15 minutes before the event. So, you know, you're done warming up and, you know, you just watched all your competitors warming up and it's like, oh man, they're fit, they're ready to go. Like, oh, so-and-so's gonna smash this event. I'm imagining my worst case scenario happening and their best case scenario happening. You know, I've been in this situation before where I was ahead by a large margin. The guy in second place had a phenomenal performance. I had a catastrophic performance. And just in one event, boom. That 90 or 100 point lead is gone. You're no longer in first place. Like, I've had it happen. In the corrals, going through, saying my things to myself, and dry heaves start happening. Trying to like breathe deep, you know, calm down. And just like half the time I end up throwing up and dry heaving until I get out onto the competition floor and
take my shirt off, puke into it, and like just toss it. And I'm just like, all right, hope no one saw that one. Yeah.
You know, there's a lot on the line with the games. It's not like we have a competition like every Saturday night and then like, oh, I had an off day yesterday or last week and I kind of make up for it now. And no, it's like we have one competition every year. So it's like your entire year revolves around that. So it's like when I'm there, I'm focusing on nothing else.
The most time the camera's on me is at the games or like at regionals, basically in competition. And it's like, I feel like I'm a completely different personality in competition and out. Just because in competition, I just shut off to everything. Like, I try not to joke. I try not to literally think about anything other than what can I do to better my performance. And so I come off definitely more serious than usual. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely not how I want to be remembered. I mean, if that goes hand in hand with competing well, then I'll take it. You know, it's kind of a price to pay. But I think like outside of the gym, I usually try to be fairly lighthearted, having a good time. It's just in competition, I'm very serious and focused, and so that's how it comes off. I think people just assume that's how I am all the time. You know, I definitely don't have a date on like, okay, like I'm gonna go 3 more seasons and then no matter where I am in the rankings or like that, I don't think like that. It's more, as long as I'm happy and healthy, I'll keep going. But then if I'm still going, I wouldn't want to take a step backwards in my dedication to it. Like right now, like you guys have seen what my home life is like. Like Sammy does anything and everything she can to take stuff off my plate so that I can focus on just training. And she takes a lot of that burden to try to help me. So like if I were trying to juggle more things in my life, I think it would take away from my performance, take away from my training, and I don't really want to. I don't want to compete if I'm going to like half-ass it, you know. So I want to like dedicate everything I can while I'm still happy and healthy.
Yeah.
And however long that is, I mean, who knows? Like I've had injuries before where it was like completely out of the blue and that part of my body was feeling perfectly fine, and then there's just a big pop one day and it's like, uh-oh, something happened. So, you know, I've always said, you know, you can have a career-ending injury on the drive home from the gym. You don't see it coming. No one's expecting it. But I guess be ready for it and be okay when it happens.
All right, now what? Where are we going?
We're just heading to the track. Gonna have a nice little running workout.
Like distance or speed?
It's a longer one. I think it's like 4 or 5 miles. But it's everything's at certain paces. You want to just like run next to me and pass me each lap? Old time's sake.
I'd assume that every athlete is training to win. And you know, there's a lot of guys now that are full-time CrossFit. They have the same 24 hours every day that I have. At the end of the day, I always look back and it's like, all right, what did I do well today? What could I have improved on? There's always a list of stuff that I could have done better, stuff I could have improved on. And I'm thinking, my competitors probably didn't do that. My competitors probably didn't make that flaw. because, you know, they're training to win.
Happy with that?
Very. Yeah, oh, well, let's go swim.
All right.
Like a month out, you know, I'm excited for training. I'm excited to push, see if I can get some PRs, see what I'm capable of. And you want to keep that feeling up to the games, you know. I want to push, I want to see what my limit is. But at the same time, it's like, okay, after this I get to relax. So I think that's a good timing of everything.
Get this last 100, then we'll go buy some land. A barn way bigger than Dan Bailey's. That's all that matters. Really?
Yeah. I had appraisals, I had camp records, wasn't anywhere. It's a big ass fort. Yes.
I just gotta grab a picture, send to Bailey, trash talk him. You look good, Sammy.
Thanks, baby.
It's like when we sent pictures of our couch. Sammy looked like a throw pillow in the corner. Yeah, so it goes up like to that tree line up there. And then it's right back to that tree line right there, I think. Does the path go up this way and then loop back?
Yeah.
Yeah? You guys okay to walk up?
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
Okay. Yeah, that's all common land with a couple ponds, and then common land shoots out this way as well.
How big is the total property?
Like 8.5 acres. Probably build sometime in the near future. The plan was to put in a garage with just a 1-bedroom apartment.
Yeah.
But then this property is deeded in on a community septic, which is pretty convenient. And to stay like in compliance with that, you can only have like 1 living space. So I think we'll just end up building a house with a garage, like an enormous detached garage. I think we'll probably put like a fire pit right about here and have some bitchin' bonfires.
Look at that, it comes with a cart.
Yeah, man. It's an old 3-wheeler. Yeah, that's a Harley Davidson.
Sick outdoor cook sesh.
That's what she's thinking right there. She really goes to cooking.
All right, sounds good.
You want to go into the games feeling good, you know, and the games are a beat down for me, equally physically and mentally. You're being tested, you know, about 15 times, and each one of those is pretty draining.
Like obviously like Murph in 2015, just like, I felt like my head was in a microwave for like 30 minutes. Like that was just the heat. Yeah.
So the run swim run from 16, where it was like a 100-meter run, maybe 500 swim, 100-meter run. Usually comfortable in the water, but that was aggressive. Just hold your breath and go. Like, do not stop. You can think about the pain when you're done. Like, just go. The run swim run from 17 was awful. I don't think I've ever felt that bad during a workout as that run swim run. People are training, people are taking notes, people are figuring stuff out. Competition's getting crazy. What's up, Mooches?
Oh, God damn it.
Oh, you got a haircut.
This is why you invited us over.
You got a haircut.
You need your camera friends here,
Oh
huh?
my God.
Let's invite those guys
You
over
are
for dinner. It looks
dumb.
like we have friends.
You gotta get some of this.
All right, Sammy, which?
That's yours.
That's mine?
That's yours, Todd. Yep. So it's the maple bourbon ones right here, and then these 2 are the house.
As soon as the games are done, I go through and analyze every event. And you know, it's even on events that I won. Like I made mistakes during them. So writing down, okay, like what didn't I like about it? What went wrong? And then how do I fix it? why did it go wrong and how do I fix that mistake? You know, kind of going into regionals, a little underprepared for my comfort zone. And that's usually how it is every year, because I'm not trying to peak for regionals, I want to peak in August. I definitely wasn't happy with how some of the stuff went, mainly just the run.
Yeah, Mat Fraser finished his 9th at event number 1. That's his worst event finish at the regionals since 2013, his rookie year, and a year that he did not make the CrossFit Games.
It's not where I want to see my name on the leaderboard. I don't like going into day 2 not in that center lane.
What did you yell when you came across the finish line? Do you
You'll have to figure that out for yourself.
The two-time fittest man on earth, Mat Fraser, 7:34.
Event record.
3 consecutive event wins and back-to-back event records on day number 2 for the two-time fittest man on earth, Mat Fraser.
Regionals went okay.
Which athletes do you think are competitively on your level?
All of them. Yeah, I'm scared of all of them. Every person showing up to the competition, I get butterflies about competing against.
All right, so how do you beat Mat Fraser?
You know, that's a tough question.
Do I think someone will beat him this year? No. There's a reason he's the best.
Matt's super fit. He's a great competitor. He's smart.
He's sort of a once-in-a-generation type of athlete.
You need help from the field. The field needs to fill in the holes, because he's filled in all his holes. He doesn't have a lot left.
I love Patrick Gallagher. I love him.
Do you think he can beat Fraser at the games? Maybe question.
I don't know. I don't know.
I think I'm the fittest I've ever been, and I'm having a blast doing it.
If you did the same training that he did every day, you still wouldn't perform like him. Whatever that it factor is.
Mat Fraser is demolishing the competition.
The last thing who I compete against Mat Fraser in my head.
Maybe having a couple kids would slow him down a little bit, who knows?
I want to work harder than Mat Fraser.
He's just better.
I want to have that feeling of success every day. I want to have that feeling of accomplishment every day. When I get off the assault bike or when I finish squatting, you know, I feel good about myself. I feel proud. You know, I'm not counting down the hours every day to like, oh my God, 6 o'clock and I can check out and then I can go do what I want. I'm doing what I want.
100 more points for Mat Fraser, and he can do it walking to the platform.
Mat Fraser is the unstoppable force, and Mat Fraser, putting on a show, destroys the time to beat.
I want to win the CrossFit Games.
I can win the CrossFit Games this year.